Okay. Coach, do you have an opening statement, or do you want to open up to questions?
Man, I'm just really proud of our boys, how we handled adversity. You know, we talk a lot about, guts, our ethos, having faith, built for the 4-4, built for the 4 minute of the fourth quarter. And I grind those kids, man, for moments like that, and it wasn't pretty. It was not pretty at all in the beginning, and you kind of think, like, man, are we in front of a sellout crowd, home crowd? Are we going to get boat raced here? But we settled down. We continued to believe. We stayed positive on the sidelines, and we had to overcome adversity. It's toughness through adversity, and I watched the team grow up today. I watched them evolve. I watched them come to life today. Because you gotta be able to win games like that. It wasn't pretty offensively and defensively. We couldn't figure it out in the first few quarters, but we settled down and we continued to chop wood and carry water, and we were able to chip away at it and find a way to win.
Just make sure you guys have all your wireless mics or anything turned off, and then just introduce yourself and give your name and media outlet before questions.
Coach Michael Burrow with Toledo Blade. Just the fourth quarter to execute, just especially defensively, forcing those 2 turnovers, the strip sack leading to the touchdown. Like, what can you say just about the defensive effort, late in the game, and just especially that second half as well?
Well, it goes back to, again, to win games like this, like against a rival, it takes toughness and grit, and culture. And we talk about that. You talk about getting, being intentional about getting the ball out. We do it every single day. Ball security, getting the ball out, emphasizing, punch the balls, rake the ball. Constantly trying to create those turnovers. And when it counts the most, that's when it showed up. We had to continue to harp on it. Coming off a bye week. For both teams, you tend to not have great ball security, so we were mindful of that during a bye week and certainly this past week in our preparation of just emphasizing punching at the ball, stripping the ball. You never know when it can come out, and that's what we were able to do. And, in these games, the team that rushes the ball well wins the the rushing yards, and wins the turnover battle. They usually win the game, and I think we're +1 in that category, so it paid off for us.
Eddie, does RJ have any quarterback experience in his past?
I guess he does. Yeah. Yes.
In high school, did he play quarterback at all? Or?
I have to ask him.
Okay. What went into that play? It's a play obviously we remembered in BG history. Can you also tell us what it was called?
Yeah. The name of the play is God. It's I'll get the name of the play. But we ran it last week for the first time. And it was based off of what we were able to do against Ohio when we ran the reverse. So RJ is an athlete, and he made a few passes during practice last week, some beautiful balls, and he's like, okay, we're going to have to dial this up. And we had it at the right time because we needed something in our passing game. And he threw a spiral on the money, and we may have to put him back at quarterback at some point in time because he was a nice tight ball.
Just this sea of students on the field afterwards, some of your seniors are crying. Can you just kind of take us to the emotion of when you're out on the field there at the end?
Yeah. It was, again, it was a hard-fought battle, and we knew it was going to be a bloodbath, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy. And our faith in everything was tested throughout the course of the game. And instead of getting down, we had, several 3-and-outs in the first half. Couldn't get the ball rolling. I think we had maybe 6 or 7 yards, couldn't get across the 50, and I'm thinking, okay, how are we going to, just get a first down? It was tough. Lucian's first start, and he's limited to some degree, so we had to really pare down our play calling and the offensive game plan around his skill set, and they were prepared for that. So we knew we had to be patient. We had to take what was given to us. We couldn't get down on ourselves, and more importantly, we just had to keep each other up, knowing that, hey, somebody's going to make a play somewhere along the line. And it had to be a complete team effort, offense, defense, and special forces. It had to be that, and I think we did a good job of that.
Coach Carter Leonard, Falcon Media Sports Network. During the first half, we saw Toledo go through a lot of hurry-up offense that was kind of throwing the defense off a little bit. Just what did you tell your guys during the halftime, to make sure to contain that a little bit better?
Just settle down and trust your eyes. Oftentimes, you certainly during the early part of the year, a lot of those big plays came off of guys not trusting their eyes. The big how they started off the game. He ran a post route and he catches the ball and he got things rolling for him, and they kept us on our heels for a little bit. So, we've been in those situations before. As far as this defensive staff, through my time at Tennessee State, and typically, that happens. Out of a bye week, gave up 21-0. We're down, but we will settle down. Our eyes got better. Our habits started to show up, and we were able to hold them to 69 yards in the third quarter. So kudos to the defensive staff for making the proper adjustments. We were able to stop them on key third downs. I think they were 3 for 13 on third down, which was huge. So it gave us a chance to get back in the game. And when you have a young quarterback like that, it's going to take everybody to be on the same page to get it done.
And also, Lucian Anderson getting the start today, with the weight and pressure that this game has every single year, how do you think that he handled the ebbs and flows of today?
Man, he handled it like a champ. Coming in, Lucian had to battle just to get to the opportunity to be second string. And he never was down on himself. I could see him in the back. He's kind of taking mental reps during the course of the week. When Drew's in there, he's going over, because I tell him, you never know when your time's going to come. It's all about the power of the unit. And, we rallied around him. We knew he was going to get a start. We knew it was going to be a tough road, because in a game like this is tough. This is our toughest game of the year. Whether this game is played here or it's played up in Toledo, it's going to be tough. So for him to take that on and not to get down or upset, he just stayed the course. And he didn't go into a tank. He just kept making plays, kept believing, kept trusting. And that just speaks to, what these guys do day in and day out, to the culture that we've started to create here. And it's been strengthened by our win today.
Coach Artie Brego, Falcon Media Sports Network. Again, on Lucian Anderson, it's such a tough thing to be thrown in a game like this and be expected to perform at a high level. How did you guys have to change your game plan today? I know you mentioned a little bit. You had to adjust some things because of the injury to Drew Pine. How did you guys have to change that? We
didn't want to get into third and long situations. We were hoping that our run game would help him be more efficient in our run game. They flat out stoned us, creating second and long situations, third and long situations, and we wanted to stay away from drop back, because that's where the wheels can really fall off, especially against that defensive front. That's where they thrive. So we didn't want to open him up to that and discourage him. So we had to stay away from a lot of our free release stuff, our 50 protections. Really be mindful of our six-man pro, make sure he was protected up front. He throws a good deep ball. You saw that today. Got a couple of pass interference calls. But we had to really rely on his strengths, allow him to get outside the pocket, pocket movement and so forth, quick game, play action. Had our run game been more effective, he would have been more effective in the run game. So we had some quarterback runs called, but they were not going to allow him to run the ball. They were going to force a handoff. So we had to just play chess and continue to keep him motivated, keep guys around him motivated, and not get frustrated, because this is a game that was not going to be pretty. And we had to accept that and find it and get it the grimy way.
BCSN. Just what does it say about the trust that you've built as a coaching staff in Cameron Petaway to have him in both of those just major moments? Not only the trick play, but also the touchdown at the end where it felt like he had to drag the whole defense with him, but he got there.
Yeah, Cam has come on big time for us. From the time that I got here, he wasn't even in the plans to even play. But again, he doesn't say a lot. He may have said 5 words to me the entire time I've been here. He's a quiet kid, he works hard, but you can see his explosiveness and what he brings to the table. Without those 2 big plays, certainly the play at halftime was a big momentum shift for us. That screen, and he was just resilient to get in there. You saw the first play of the year. He had the big return. So he is becoming an explosive player, and his confidence is starting to grow now. And what we have to do is find ways to get him the ball more, get him into a good rhythm moving forward. You know, we have yet to really, as an offense, play a complete ball game. We've had spurts here and there, but the good thing is when you play a game like this and you don't have much offensive success, your culture wins those types of games, and that's strong. When you have that as a foundation, that's what you're looking for. So I'm excited about that. But in terms of Cam, he's only going to grow from here.
Obviously, you've been in big rivalry games before, but this is now like your first battle of I-75 that lived through it, the emotion swings, the atmosphere, all of it. Just I guess, what do you take away from your just first battle of I-75 experience as a whole beyond the game itself?
It's an honor and a privilege. My hat goes off to Toledo and Coach Candle and his staff and those kids that came in with a great game plan. They didn't have success against BG for the last 3-4 years. These games are different. It's a playoff game. It's a championship atmosphere, as you can see. And every play counts, every yard counts, every inch counts. Every turnover is a big one. And I saw a team grow up before my eyes and embrace that moment and didn't shy away from it. And they just kept digging and chopping. That's going to pay dividends for us as we approach the meat of our schedule, as we round it out and try to finish off strong and hopefully we get in Detroit. So it's a big building block for us, for sure.
Hey, Coach Yao Bonsu, BCSN. You spoke a lot about the defense, but it's different when it's a rivalry game, and it's different when you're down 21-0.
Yeah.
What did you teach your team about the difference between aggressive defense and disciplined aggression?
Play with a controlled rage. I think we talked about that all week long, is that, hey, this is an emotionally charged game. Don't let your emotions get ahead of you. You got to stay disciplined. You got to stay focused. And that's the way we play anyway. We just had to settle down and not get discouraged and trust the work, trust our training. This game was won in the summer when we were in the Devil's Den and taking back the Doyd and the Sammy Sosa's, all this stuff. That was won then, and you gotta go through that in the summer to get to this point. And I think they're starting to see that. So I'm not surprised by the outcome. I think now they're starting to understand and believe that what we teach and what we breathe and how we operate, our habits, our thoughts, we're all thinking the same things and we're being positive. It leads to these opportunities for us. So the defense, again, that's their mindsets, to create havoc, to settle down, to create turnovers, and we were able to do just that.
Falcon Media Sports Network. Gideon Lampron, 13 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss. What'd you make of his performance today and kind of how he's stepped up since the injury to Dorian Pringle? Yeah, well, when Dorian was in there, we had 2 erasers, back there, and Caden Marshall had to come in and play some too, but he was an FCS All-American. Again, not surprised at the work that he's done. The running back was a dude now, and we understood the challenge with him coming in here. He's a big, heavy-set guy, and he can lean on you a little bit. But Gideon showed up and played really well for us. He's the captain of our defense. And then do you have any update on Drew Pine going forward with the injury that he has? Right now, we're going to see how he comes out of this week. We're going to have a consultation with some doctors, and it's week-to-week deal. I'm pretty sure that he could have gone today, and he taken a different type of protocol, but we didn't want to risk that moving forward because you're risking probably further damage. So we want to make sure he's healed. He's had 2 good weeks to heal up, to get rested, and we'll assess that going into next week.
Last question here.
I guess when did you find out that Drew wasn't going to be playing, and how did that change things and everything?
Well, we knew it was a possibility he wouldn't be playing going into the bye week. It really didn't come about until earlier that week, that Sunday. Actually, we got word that he wasn't going to be playing, that it was a different injury than we occasionally thought, and it needed more time to heal. So we had to really pare down and burn the midnight oil and figure out the best game plan for our offense and how we were going to be able to score points and move the ball. And Lucian, again, given what he's been through and just knowing the pressure that was on him, man, just watching that kid grow up has just been awesome to watch. What, no Pudge questions? Really? Was he even here? Is Pudge here? Did y'all see him? Y'all saw him? Okay. Did y'all ask him questions too? No? All right, well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Isaiah Michael with the Toledo Blade. Can you just put into words like just how you guys were able to pull this off? You know, obviously backup Lucian has to start at quarterback. You know, they jumped off to 21-0 lead. Like, how are you guys able to just dig deep and find a way in the second half there?
I would say, well, of course, Coach George is always preaching to us, stick together, trust each other, trust our training, trust everything that we do as a team. I mean, it just go back to the summer, us doing Toledo drills, us doing running the Doit, running up the stadium, Devil's Den, Sammy Sosa's, everything, just trusting each other and then just coming together. I mean, us not having Drew, obviously, it's going to be a setback, but Lucian came in, did what he had to do, and we got to win.
Second half, you guys obviously pitched a shutout for 6 punts, a couple turnovers. Like, what was there anything that changed in that second half there that really, you know, you guys were able to get to the quarterback a lot better, but like what changed in that second half?
I feel like what changed was in the first half, you could see us a lot, like our emotions got control of us. And I know in my last school, we always preached, control your emotions, don't let emotions control you. So I think in the second half, we did more of just playing our brand of football, less talking and just playing.
You scooped up the ball there at the one. You know, what was that moment like? Obviously, such a huge play and leading to the go-ahead touchdown.
I honestly thought I scored. I seen the replay. I thought I scored, but, I mean, even if I didn't score, we still got the win. We still got the score after that, so I'm fine with it.
Kevin Peele, Falcon Sports Radio Network. Isaiah, what switch flipped for this team? Because it seemed like you were struggling to get pressure in the first half, and they were running the ball pretty well. But what ultimately led to that change in the second half?
I feel like what flipped the switch was Coach Fisher's message at halftime. Obviously, us down 21-7 at halftime. I mean, he got in our ass. I mean, that's just what it is. And we trust Coach Fish. He trusts us, so we went out there and played for him. Play for each other.
Carter Leonard, Falcon Media Sports Network. We saw Toledo go through a lot of hurry-up offense this game, you know, and that threw the defense off guard. But how did you guys, you know, stay calm during halftime and went back out there and gave them a lot more pressure?
I feel like with the hurry-up, it was us doing not such of a good job on first down. So it's like if we did our jobs on first down, they couldn't run hurry-up. Like we did in the second half, we pushed them back. Forced fumbles, tackles for losses on first down. So it just put them behind the sticks, and they couldn't really tempo us in the second half.
Tyler Kavlitz, Falcon Media Sports Network. You guys had 2 stops on fourth down in that first half that really kept you guys in the game, kept you within 2 scores. How big was that momentum-wise for you guys going into halftime?
That was amazing. I mean, to get first off, to get a goal line stand when we're down already 21-0, and then put up 28, I mean, that's pretty hard to come back by in college football. But for us to go down and get that stop down 21-0 and still keep a level head, and just the other stop too, like them almost putting it in the end zone again, just us getting 2 stops, big stops right there, and giving the ball back to our offense to just switch momentum, that was great.
After your turnover, then obviously the interception late, like when you just see like all the students swarm the field, the seniors crying, just like, can you describe the emotion of what that's like as like a player to experience like the celebration that occurred at the end?
Well, I'll say this is my first year here, so obviously this is my first time playing Toledo, and I ain't really know what the emotions would be like coming in, but just seeing like the team and us just come together after the game, it was amazing. Emotions were high, obviously. But it was a great win, and great to see the seniors go out with a win over Toledo.
Artie Brago, Falcon Media Sports Network. Obviously, you know, Drew Pine didn't start this game. How did you see the team kind of rally around Lucian before the game and when the game went on? As the game went on.
Well, I mean, we had got the announcement on I think Monday that Drew probably wasn't going to play. He showed up to practice in the boot, so we already knew that Lucian was next up, and we all got his back. We got everybody's back on this team. Like I said, this is a brotherhood. And we're going to have our brothers back, and we stuck together, and we got the win.
Aiden Bruick, Falcon Media Sports Network. Going into the locker room at halftime, you could audibly hear some of the players up there going 0-0. So is that the mentality that you guys came out with? You're thinking, okay, this is a level game?
That's the mindset anytime. It don't matter if we up 21-0 or down 21-0. It's a level mindset. Can't be too high, can't be too low. So just level playing field, like it's the start of the game again.
Any more questions? All right. Thanks, Isaiah. Appreciate it.
Put into words just the emotion of being able to pull out this win, down 21-0 in the second quarter. Lucian's obviously getting the start at quarterback. Like, how are you guys able to just pull this off there at the end?
It's unbelievable. It's guts for sure. Defense did a great job. 21 unanswered points, held them, and I don't even know how my emotions are right now. I'm feeling so good. Team's feeling good. I love to win, so it's a big comeback.
A knack for really big plays this year. The first one, right before half was so big just to get you guys something going offensively. Like, how big was that play? And just take us through it, because obviously, you had blockers ahead of you, just outran them and just kind of bowled your way into the end zone.
Yeah, like you said, it was a big play. We needed momentum going into half. I did see those blockers in front of me, but I also seen a lot of green space, so had to take advantage of what I saw.
Lucian, obviously, it was maybe a tough start offensively, but it looked like he got so much more comfortable, especially in that second half. What did you see from him just as far as that, being comfortable, especially later on?
Man, Lucian, words can't even describe, man. I knew he has a talent, he has a skill set. It took a little time, like you said, but I knew he was going to get it done.
Did you know RJ Garcia had that good of an arm?
I did. We were practicing it all week, so I knew he could do it. I told him to throw it as far as he could. I'd go get it wherever it was.
Cameron, a lot of emotions riding high going into this game. What was it like playing in front of a packed stadium like this?
It was nice. It's nice having the city around you, behind your back. No matter what the score was, they never really gave up on us, and it helped us a lot, especially defensive-wise. When we needed those stops, they helped out a lot.
Sorry, back here. Obviously, we talked to you after the first game when you had the kick return touchdown. Like, how do you think you've seen yourself grow and continue to gain the trust of the coaching staff to put them in those situations to have you make those two big plays you did today?
I've grown a lot, especially from the first game. Just getting mental reps and practicing, just proving what I can do in practice and on the field just helps gain the trust of these coaches.
Any more questions? All right. Thanks, Cam.
Thank you.
Lucian, could you have ever imagined this for your first collegiate start?
Man, I could have never imagined something like this. This was absolutely amazing. Just being out there with my teammates and getting this opportunity to go out there and beat Toledo, couldn't ask for anything more.
When you found out earlier this week that, looked like Drew was going to be out, you were going to be the guy. Like, how did you approach that mentally? Like, how did you really just prepare this week for this moment?
Well, at first, I'm not going to lie. I was nervous at first. Like the first day when he first told me, I was like, man, this is here. But, getting in the office with Coach Parcher, staying those late nights and going over the game plan and really understanding the entire game plan was something that I really had to do, and then it paid off.
How did you it felt like you were much more comfortable, as the game went on, especially the second half, that short scoring drive, your pass to Harris, that drive, you looked really comfortable. Like, did you feel just more comfortable with each drive? Like, how did the game kind of progress in that way for you?
Yeah, I would say for sure. I definitely had more comfortability with each drive, and my teammates, they were pushing me the entire time, telling me that, hey, they got me, and I was telling them I have them, and just I had to be a man of my word. And shoot, man, I love my teammates, man. Love them. Can't do it without them.
Lucian, Artie Brago, Falcon Media Sports Network. That first touchdown to Cam Petaway, that 45-yard touchdown, what's going through your mind as you're seeing your teammate kind of fight his way to the end zone to get that first score?
Man, I was telling him, I was just yelling. I know he couldn't hear me, but I was yelling, hey, go get it, go get it, go get it. And, hey, he bounced off of 2 tackles and went in there and scored. And awesome feeling. I know he felt amazing about that, too, so.
You've seen a couple of these games, Lucian, but still, you get to game day and the emotions, not just for you, but for the team. How'd you handle that in particular? How'd you see it kind of rise and fall as this game went? And was it trying to stay as level-headed as possible throughout?
Yeah, definitely that, staying level-headed. our coach, Coach George, my quarterback coach, Coach Partridge, he was saying the entire time trying to keep the offense level. Like, it's a long game. Just because we're down at the beginning doesn't mean the game's over. We just got to keep playing, keep fighting, keep chopping wood, and eventually it'll show itself.
Lucian, going into this game, Toledo, as we all know, great defensive side to them. But just during the half time period, what were you going through trying to remain calm throughout that whole entire halftime period, and went out there and did what you did?
Honestly, I was just talking to my teammates. I was talking to the other quarterbacks in the room. I was talking to Drew a lot, and Drew, the entire week, Drew's been there supporting me, and he's been giving me pointers and things because, he's done it many times, so he knows, what it's like. So getting pointers from him, it was awesome. It was good, yeah.
How much confidence did it give you seeing the defense get a couple fourth down stops early on in that first half to kind of help settle you in and keep it a 2-score game?
Man, it gave the entire offense confidence. That's what we needed. The defense played their hearts out the entire game, and props to them for getting those stops the second half. We really needed them, and that right there was the spark that we needed to get the offense moving and to get everything going in the right direction.
Lucian, first, congratulations, Aiden Brook, Falcon Media Sports Network. A lot of college football teams have their own brand of football that they play. How would you categorize Bowling Green's play that you've seen demonstrated over the past couple of weeks?
I say we play hard-nosed football. We are going to take over the A-gap every game. Every game we're going to take over the A-gap, and we're going to control it the entire game, and it's just chopping wood for us. We just keep going, keep giving punches each down, each quarter. Just keep going like that.
Lucian, I know this was pretty much your first collegiate start. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. How difficult was it to kind of adjust the game you play? You like to use your legs a lot when they're really good at defending the rush and really good at defending against rushing quarterbacks.
I was honestly, it was just doing what my coach had me do. He was just telling me to read it out and just trust the play. That's pretty much it. Don't try to do anything too spectacular. Just handle your job, and that's all you had to do.
Any more questions? All right. Thanks, Lucian.
Thank you.